Off Geek Radio. Oh, thank you. Where was it?
Downstairs.
Oh. Oh. All right. With any luck, we are live on Alpha Geek Radio, on the app, on the website, on Google Hangouts on air. Cheers, everybody. Oh, Haley was here for a second and then disappeared? Wait, does that mean she just doesn't have voice? I'm seeing a bunch of people in gray there, Steve, in the chat. Do you see that as well?
Yes, I'm giving them voice.
Okay, you're having to manually do it today?
Yeah, it's not working today for some reason. On auto.
Okay. If you can't talk, Steve will give you voice. Woo! You voice shortly. All right. So for some reason, the server is not giving people voice immediately. I suppose we also should have warned Donald too, Steve, since we use his chat service. If we were to be on at the same time as one of his other shows, it wouldn't work. All right. It is 1:03, so we are going to go ahead and do roll call. I don't think anybody has to complain about or has to be punished if they're late to this show. We have Donald and Steve, Kevin, Darcy, Holly. Holly, how are you? Wait, DHS Darcy and DHS Holly. Holly, are you a friend of Darcy's? And Haley is back. Yay! And Laura and Mish and Splygosh and Mark and Alistair. Alistair made it up. What's that, Steve? You still have voice right now. Would you like me to cut you off?
Yeah, go ahead and cut me off.
All right, wave goodbye to the wingman. All right, goodbye. Hide from broadcast. All right, we have a giant show. Giant. Kevin removed your voice. Steve removed your voice? There you go. Laura, you can talk now. Yes, you are live. Yes, Laura. That's weird. I wonder why it's not giving voice automatically. All right, let's do a test recording here. The chances of me having this set up correctly is pretty low, but actually, let me do this. Let me check and see what my... No, that's not right. That should be right. Okay, let's see how this works. Hi, this is Allison Sheridan of the NosillaCast podcast. And checking playback. Oh, that looks like Laura said goodbye to you there, Steve. Okay, so playback. Playback good? No playback. Really? Well, let me look at audio hijack and see why that would be. I'm going to record it again. Hi, this is Allison Sheridan of the NosillaCast podcast. Okay, you're right. Why is that not include audio input? No. So I'm using the new audio hijack for the first time. We're going to experiment because it's Saturday. We got time. Okay, let's see what happens if I do it that way. Okay, tell me if you can hear this now. Nope, then you can't see it. So what do I have to do? All right, I'm going to show you guys what I'm doing. It is good if I understand this because I am going to be doing a video tutorial on this next week. So I'm going to show you, and maybe one of you guys can see what I'm doing wrong. So this is the new audio hijack, and it is so awesome. But Alistair, I think, has been playing with this too. So what we have here, let's see, can you see my cursor? There you go. So that input device that says Shure Digital, that's my voice, and you can see the little lines moving. That shows my voice is going through to the output device, which is Soundflower 2 channel. That's important. But it also says that GarageBand is going through to Soundflower 2 channel, and it's not. There's no little sound thingies going on there. Maybe, ooh, what if I get rid of this as an output device? Let's see. Man, there you go. Now what happens when I hit playback? Let me see if I play that back if it works. No, maybe it's a different version of GarageBand. Am I dragging the wrong one? No, 605. Tried turning it off and on again. No, I haven't, but I could. All right, I'm going to turn it off. You guys won't hear me for a second. Okay, maybe it had to be, yeah. Oh, Alistair, You had the man. He got it because I think I opened GarageBand a second time after I brought up Audio Hijack. So there it goes. Now you got an echo. Oh, I know why. I can fix that. It's because you don't want that. Okay, did the echo go away now? Yes. Okay. Yeah, that was because I had. Oh, wait a minute though. Now GarageBand doesn't look like it's going to flow. Let's see if it works. Hi, this is Allison Sheridan of the NosillaCast podcast. Okay, so now I need an output device so that I can hear it. I need an output device here. That's the way I had it set up to start with. Oh, wait a minute. No, I need another GarageBand. Hang on, this is going to be funny. I'm going to drag another GarageBand here. This one's going to go there. And this is going to be GarageBand. And I think that way, because otherwise I can't hear it. Okay, now let's try it one more time. Whoops, got to get to where there's sound. It'll be a lot better. Here we go. Let's see who can hear. Hi, this is Allison Sheridan of the NosillaCast podcast. I think everybody could hear. Yes, you guys can hear NosillaBot. Nice, Darcy. All right, cool. So that is very, very interesting. I'm going to make a quick note of that, Alistair, because, let's see, if it doesn't work, turn it off, turn it on again. Turn off, on. I might need to experiment whether it's maybe open GarageBand after Audio Hijack. All right, let's see. All right, cool. Thank you. Very good. All right, Linda's here. Who else? And who else? Peter came in. Peter, where are you from? Almost late with this rare possibility. Oh, Peter's from Germany. There you go. I knew somebody was from Germany. Well, Mitch, why did I think that you were in... oh, this is exciting. So we're using the new Audio Hijack. This is very exciting for me anyway. I don't know if it's exciting for you, but that was fun. Thank you very much for your help, Alistair. Let me get back to stop that. There we go. We should be back to my lovely face. Okay, this is cool. So alert me as fast as you can if you hear anything go wrong here. Oh, what did I want to give you guys a hard time for? You guys, oh, you know what you missed last week? Anybody who was here last week? I played the interview with the Oculus Rift thing at Lowe's for the second time. I had it in the show twice. I had it 2 weeks ago and then last week. So, Muddy, how you doing, Muddy? You're new here. How exciting! All right, looks like a circuit diagram. Where's the lamp? Nice. Can't blame Kevin. No, I think it was Mark's fault. Mark didn't pay attention. All right, here we go. Good. Can't save. File. Save as. I knew that. NosillaCast audio. All right, and this is NC 2015_0131. There you go. Now it's saved. Okay, now we can go. Is this Seahawks colors? You know, I would vote for the Seahawks, except Mark likes them. So this whole show is just for Mark, so Mark could come for the live show, so we didn't interrupt his precious Super Bowl there. All right. I was busy. Oh, you did notice when listening? You couldn't have noticed when listening because I took it out before I posted it, Alistair. Ha! Because I noticed it before I posted the show. I had put it up on Libsyn, and then I was looking for the notes on it and went, wait a minute, this has already been in here. So I took it out and put a new version up. So I never published the version that had it in there the second time. Ha! Hospital Wi-Fi. Oh, Haley. Well, I hope you get to stay with us. Okay, here we go. It's 1:11, and we haven't started yet. Hi, this is Allison Sheridan of the NosillaCast podcast, hosted at podfeet.com, a technology geek podcast with an ever so slight Macintosh bias. Today is Saturday, January 31st, 2015, and this is show number 508. Well, we're recording on Saturday so that all of the football fans can watch their precious little game tomorrow, mostly for Mark. But anyway, I just wanted him to be able to come to the live show. So we are doing the live show right now on Saturday. Now, I know you don't come to the NosillaCast for financial reporting on Apple, but I really want to do some high fives about their latest earnings. I think many of us believed in Apple through the dark years, and that makes the latest earnings just that much sweeter each time it comes out. I listen to Mac OS Ken, and I love every minute of his show. However, the earnings numbers just start to all run together after a while. They sound the same. Blah, 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 millions of earnings, gross margins of such and such a percentage, earnings per share were expected to be this, but turned out to be that. And even then, the total number of something sold just has no meaning after a while. I thought I'd share a couple of things I heard that put the numbers in perspective for me. When they said that Apple made a profit of $18 billion, well, that sounded like a pretty darn big number, but it wasn't until later in the week that it was pointed out that it was the most profit any company has made ever. Seriously. All right, this is a company that was 2 weeks from bankruptcy, and they came back. Another one I liked was on the Clockwise podcast, Jason Snell, who's one of the hosts of this half-hour show, said, during this show, Apple will sell 17,000 iPhones. How's that for perspective? But none of these descriptions really brought it home till I heard this one. And actually, somebody tweeted it, and I wish I had saved their name. I'm sorry I didn't remember it, but they pointed out that there are 7.3 billion people in the world today. Apple sold 74.4 million iPhones. That means that 1% of all humans on the planet bought an iPhone in 1 quarter. Now, that's not the number of people who now have iPhones. That's just the people who in 1 quarter bought a new iPhone. That's it. 1% of all humans on the whole planet. Okay, that's a statistic you can remember. But enough high-fiving. Let's get on with the show. I talk a lot about the live show, but did you know that you can listen live at Alpha Geek Radio? This is a service run by Todd Whitehead, and it's 3 and sometimes 4 channels of all-time geek goodness. When the NosillaCast is live, we're on Channel 3, and often reruns of recent shows are also playing on Channel 3. They kind of mix it up when somebody isn't live. Todd has been hard at work getting the service available on a ton of devices. You can now get Alpha Geek Radio on Roku, Apple TV, iOS, Android, Windows Phone, BlackBerry, Kindle, Samsung and Panasonic smart TVs, Sonos, Logitech Ultimate Ears players, and even plain old web browsers. But rather than me explaining to you how to get Alpha Geek Radio goodness on all these devices, if you just navigate to alphageekradio.com and click on Help in the top right, you'll find instructions on all of the ways to tune in. I tested this out. I clicked on the Roku icon in the Help section, took me right to where I could enable the channel on my Roku. So go check out Alpha Geek Radio and get your geek on. Well, James Staples over on Twitter asked me a question that I had trouble answering at first, but after a few days I kept coming up with more and more solutions to his question. Here's what he asked, and he asked me and some other people, but I answered him. Do you guys know of any apps that can mark up a photo, for example, Step 1, Step 2, via an iOS extension like Preview or Clarify does on OS X? Would just love something with steps and an extension like Clarify app for iOS. And he used a hashtag here. I really like my hashtag PTBS, problem to be solved, is that I'm trying to be more iPad-centric and would like to produce 1 to 2 screenshot guides. Well, I wanted to help James especially because he coined the hashtag PTBS. I expect all of you to use it from now on. But I was at a loss. What app could do what Clarify does, but on iOS? About a week after he posted the question, I had an idea, and it's surprisingly not awful. You can take screenshots with the iPhone simply by holding down the home and power buttons at the same time. Then you can open the images in Sketch and annotate them. Next, here's the crazy part. What about using Microsoft Word to build the instructions? I know it sounds like heresy, but since Office is free for the iPad and iPhone, why not give it a try? I installed Word on my iPad, and it asked me to authenticate to my Microsoft account. Now, I'm sure a bunch of you are cringing at the idea of a Microsoft account, but remember last week's show? This is not your mother's Microsoft. Somewhere along the line, Word also gave me an option to connect it to Dropbox. That was cool, but I actually have more storage available on OneDrive from Microsoft, so I let that be. I haven't used Word in so long I can't remember what it's supposed to look like, but I easily found the Insert menu, and within there was the option to access my Photos library. I dropped in an image that I had just taken with the screen snapshot thing and tested Word wrap around the image, and it worked just fine. Just as fine as Word ever did. You know, sort of janky, but if you fight with it long enough, it does get the job done. On the iPhone, though, you definitely want to stay clear of Microsoft Word. It's tolerable and maybe even good on the iPad, but it's pretty much unreadable and unusable on the iPhone, in my opinion. Teeny tiny text, impossible to grab the corners of the images to resize them, and incomprehensible menus. Other than that, it's awesome on the iPhone. Well, a few days after giving him that advice, I was on my walk and I stopped in my tracks, hit myself on the forehead and said to myself, what about Pages? It's pretty weird that I thought of Word first. I think I think I'm just spending too much time with Chris Ashley. I did the same test using Pages and, inserting the photo into Pages. And I have to say it was less annoying than Word. And I was even using the iPhone to test it. It was easier to format the image with a border or shadow, and figuring out the word wrap nightmare was slightly easier. They're both a pain, to be honest, but I'd give Pages a slight upvote there. Next, we have to back up in our workflow a bit. When I need just one annotated screenshot, I tend to reach for Sketch. It's free, works on iOS and Mac and Windows and Android and Windows Phone, but my one complaint with Sketch used to be that the text was always pink with outlined white borders and kind of a shadow, so it looks super dorky. In the last few years, they've modified it though, so it's really easy to choose the color and get rid of the dorky outlining and simply drag the corners of a text field to change the font size. If you think about it, when you're working with an image, that's easier than the more standard method of typing in a font size. Sadly, they never have added sequence numbers, which is one of the things we need in a tutorial. Instead, they added stickers of smiley faces and arrows with X's and check marks on them. Not sure what that's all about. So you'll have to use text to put in the sequence numbers, and it doesn't look all that great. So our workflow now is to take a screen snapshot, flip over to Sketch to annotate it and save it back out to our photos, then flip to Word or Pages, hit the Insert button, stick the image into the document, and then tell Word or Pages how to wrap around the image. The good news is that with both Word and Pages, I was able to save them in the cloud automatically. OneDrive from Microsoft and iCloud from Apple immediately reflected all of my changes, and I was able to open and view the tutorials on iPhone, iPad, and Mac. Again, Pages had a bit of an edge here. The Share button includes turning it into a PDF right in the menu, so you don't need yet another application to print it to PDF. I also liked how in Pages you could set up headings, so I was able to come up with a heading that had a line under it, so each step was kind of separated out a little bit more Clarify-ish. By the way, going through this exercise reminded me of why I'm such a fan of Clarify, because now I remember how hard it used to be. By the way, this isn't the ad. It has nothing to do with the ad at all. Clarify takes the screenshots, has the annotations, so the formatting, exports to shareable formats. If anyone out there has a better solution than Word/Pages plus Sketch for doing iOS tutorials, I would love to hear about it. Oh, I've missed a lot. Wow. I got to go back and read. Alistair says the file I got had it for sure. I don't know how it could have had that in it, that mistake in it. All right. Is Linda here? I saw Steve. Yeah, Linda is here. Hi, Linda. How are you? Apple made all of the money. Yes, that's a good point. Yeah, Steve, the more I think about it, we are really supposed to tell Todd if we've stolen, if we're moving the show. Because he, right now, I think what will happen is I think it'll be empty at 5 o'clock on Sunday where he would normally play something. So if you wouldn't mind telling him, you can do it after the show now, it doesn't matter, but we probably should check that in the future. I forgot about that. How many times to the moon is that? I like it. That's a good question. Oh yeah, Holly, 1%. That's just crazy. All right, then they're talking about football. Spygosh is here from the UK. Yay. 34,000 per minute per day of the quarter. Yeah, that one comes up in Chit Chat Across the Pond, and that's 9.5 a second. Not an iPhone every 9.5 seconds. It's 9.5 iPhones a second. Yeah, I think by definition, Alistair, you were in that quarter, so you helped. For a single image markup, I use Clarify. Yeah, but Alistair, this is on the iPhone. So how do we do it on the iPhone? All right. Oh, you did check the schedule. Good. All right. Oh, you just rattled Rose's cage. Good. Yeah, wake her up. Let me see. What time is it? Oh, I don't. It's 8 in the morning in Sydney. So it might be like 5 or 6 in the morning in. Actually, let me see. She lives in Tasmania, right? Let me check Time Scroller. Yes, my audio still does work when I do this. Okay, so let's go Australia. See if Tasmania is a choice. No, I don't have a choice of Tasmania. Canberra is not in the right area code. Perth is too far east. Melbourne, maybe? Yeah, I don't know how to add. Whoops. back. All right, that should have fixed it. This is why I'm not allowed to play with web browsers. All right. That is hosting a Pi Day on 31415. Nice. Okay. That's my bad. So what happened was I accidentally opened a web browser. I went over to look at Time Scroller. I clicked on Time Scroller. It launched a web page. I hit close, only it closed the wrong window. It closed the one that you guys are on. So it's back now. Somebody wants me to explain what a Raspberry Pi is. A Raspberry Pi is I don't know exactly what it is. It's a little tiny piece of electronics. It's a little bitty square cube that has a full microprocessor in it, and it's got I think it's got USB on it. It's actually a computer in a thumb drive, so you can plug it in. It was designed originally to give people in low-income areas in emerging countries the ability to plug that into a TV, for example. I don't know if that would have USB, but into some sort of monitor and be able to have a computer. So it's a tiny, teeny, yeah, Darcy said it more succinctly, tiny little Linux computer. Really, really tiny. Now very low quality. Is Frozen Jumpy a bit better now? Huh. Video's back? Is it jumpy for anybody else? I know it doesn't count for you, Steve, but I should not have affected that. All right. Alistair, if you did that from memory, that's pretty good. All right, we got a really long show. It's going to be like 3 hours today. All right, here we go. Back in 2012, I told you about a handy little $1 app for iOS that I loved. It was called Bob's Contact Lock Screen. Let's say you left your iPhone at a party. If someone of good moral character found it and you kept your phone locked, how would they know it was yours and how to get it back to you? Bob's Contact Lock Screen was designed to let you take a photo of your choosing, type some text on it such as, "If found, please call," and then save the new image and use it as your lock screen image. I've been using it for years, and I felt a little better knowing there was a chance I might see my iPhone back if I lost it. However, when I jumped up to the iPhone 6, the bigger size phone, I realized the images created by Bob were leaving a giant black empty space across the bottom because it had not been updated for the bigger screen sizes. I wrote to the devs asking if they're going to do a new version. Now, I would happily buy the app again for another whole $1, but I was summarily ignored. So much for support from Bob. Basically, all this app does is take an image, sizes it for the iPhone, and then slap some text on it, saves that back out to your photos library, and then you can pull that in using the wallpaper function built into the phone. Well, I like changing my picture on my lock screen often, so I just stopped having my contact info on screen. Then on Thursday night, Steve forgot his phone in a restaurant, and they called me to say, "Hey, we found Steve's phone." How did they know to call me? Because Steve had used the application to put my phone number as a contact on his lock screen. The good news is now we know it actually works because he got his phone back. The bad news is I needed to find a way to reproduce what Bob had done for the smaller form factors now on my bigger phone. My first thought was I would make Dorothy write me an iOS app, but then I came across a blog post on CNET suggesting an alternative solution to the same problem. They pointed me to an application called Over for iOS. Over is not designed to create lock screens, but rather is more generically intended to put text on images and save out a new version of the image. Over lets you choose from a big list of pretty fonts. You can change opacity, color, size, and position. The level of flexibility is nice, but at the same time, I would rather have found an app designed to just do one thing and do it well. By the way, Over is from madewithover.com and costs $2. But then I got to thinking, what about Sketch as a better solution? As I've told you before, Sketch is free from Evernote and runs on everything. I mean, everything. One of the nice things about Bob's Contact Lock Screen was that it let you get the image on screen just the exact size you wanted it, and you could move the image around and get it so it was centered just the way you wanted it. With Sketch, and this would probably work with Over now that I think about it, I solved the problem by bringing up the photo I wanted, zoomed in a little bit, and panned until I got it just right. Then I used the power and home buttons to take a screenshot. That guaranteed I had an image exactly formatted for my iPhone size. Since Sketch now has access to open and save images to the Photos app, I was able to open that screenshot I took, use the text tools to type on screen, resize, and move the text around using the handy handles. Now, they really should call them that, handy handles. Anyway, I moved the text around, resized it, and then I was able to save the whole thing out as an image to my Photos app. Now, like with Bob's software, I can open settings, wallpaper, and set the new image as my lock screen. So if you want fancy font options, I'd use Over for this task, but if you want free and easy, give Sketch a try on iOS, Android, and Windows Phone. One last point I want to make in the Be Smarter Than Me category. Way back when I first did this, I made the idiotic error of putting my own cell phone number on the lock screen. You might want to be a wee bit more successful if you put someone else's phone on the number there like Steve did. I should also point out that after I posted this information as a blog post over on podfeed.com, George from Tulsa said, why don't you just put a sticker on the phone on the back that says your phone number? Well, you could do that, but then you couldn't get to play with your phone. All right, what did I miss? Let's see. From memory, wow. Oh, you don't need to worry about interrupting me, Laura. I stop and come back. Quality's back to normal. Good. Hi, mobile. Who are you, mobile? I would love to take off those. I would like to click on those links, but I can't because it would open a web browser and then I'd probably ruin things. Oh, Haley, hope you feel better. Bye. All right. Sticker on your phone. Yeah, it's true. Plus, if you got a case on it. All right. I have to keep squeezing in these CES reviews because we got about 1 million of them. We've got a huge show today, but let's still sneak in a couple more CES interviews. Okay, so this one is Biwi. The guy has a French accent. Hey, we got a couple Europeans here. I have a question for you. 3 times I heard somebody from Europe say a URL by saying www, not www. Is that a European thing? They were both, all 3 were from Europe. I was curious about that. All right. More CES interviews. I'm with Terry Dechart from BWI. What do you have to show us today?
Thank you very much, Alison. I'm very happy to show you what we are doing there. It's very new for us. BWI is a French company. We developed for many years connected objects, and we start with connected toys. And today we are going to launch on the market a new smart home range. And this smart home range uses one technology. This technology is Bluetooth Low Energy. It's quite new. I know that our competition is using Wi-Fi. For most of the people are using Wi-Fi, but we think that Bluetooth Low Energy is one of the good technology for home automation.
All right. All right, that was BB. Okay.
New products.
Great. Thank you very much, Sherry.
Thank you, Alison. Thank you very much.
I really like the BWI story because of the low cost. As we've started looking into the connected home devices, I've been realizing you can easily spend thousands of dollars to turn your light bulbs on and off. You know, remember back to what I said, CES was half about automating things so you could be lazy, and the other half was about fitness devices because we're getting too fat. Maybe we should just get up and turn off our own light bulbs. I don't know. All right, and here's Quick Set. What do you guys think about having your door lock controlled by a smartphone? Doesn't that sound a little terrifying? Am I just being an old lady? Sounds like people talking too fast, but it happened 3 times, and they were all European. That's why I thought maybe there was a pattern going on, Alistair. Because the letter W is so long, sometimes you mess up with how much W's you had. Yeah, that makes sense. I would expect Americans to screw it up just as often. We should just get up and turn off our own light bulbs. I don't know. Oh, a little too soon. Too fat. Maybe we should just get up and turn off our own light bulbs. I don't know. I'm with Michael Magnani in the Quickset booth, and I guess we're going to learn about smart locks today.
Yes, we do. So what we've got going on here is a new smart lock that's called Kivo, and it comes with a brand new service, which is called Kivo Plus. So every
Yeah, why do people say the www? I mean, you don't say the HTTP. anymore because everybody knows what it is. So I think that's weird. Oh, I should probably save. All right, here we go. Sorry, that was probably loud. I just heard it come out of Steve's speaker in the other room. I should have been quieter. Uh-oh, Steve's talking to me. I missed a bunch of messages here. Oh, what was the sample rate for that one? Let's see. Quickset was 48 kilohertz. So we're still on the real early ones. These are, Steve, these are way back. I'm not making a lot of progress. I'm only on, let's see, what was I on? Yeah, I'm only on 10 and 11, and there's 37. So I'm going to save some up for Alistair and Guy and Bart when they do the show. So, how do I leave a key for my kids? Oh, Mark, that's actually an easier answer. Is you can unlock the phone, the door from your phone when you're not home. You can do it like that. You can do it. Our friend Pat has one where she can enable a keypad entry using her iPhone. Because like, let's say she knows the plumber's coming at 2 o'clock. She can enable it at 2 o'clock for a specific code that she gives him, and then it stops at 3 o'clock. So he better be on time, or she. It's important. All right, here we go. Yeah, you don't actually have to own www and non-www. It's actually, well, I do it like I think through a redirect or something. There's some web thing that Bart taught me that does that. So you don't actually have to buy both of them. So Todd Peppercorn is here. He needs some voice. And Kiwi Spoon. Yay, it's a big party in here today. Oh, Steve, you just made Kiwi Spoon a moderator. Did you mean to do that? Oh. There we go. Kiwi Spoon has regular voice. For just a minute, you had ultimate power, Kiwi Spoon. That was funny. You could have taken control. All right, here we go. All right, thank you very much, Michael.
You're welcome.
Well, personally, I'm still a little bit queasy about the idea of a door lock activated by a smartphone. Now, I thought maybe I was just being an old scaredy cat on this, but Jamie Cox made a comment on the video interview in Google Plus that said perfectly what I was thinking. All he wrote was, what could possibly go wrong? Well, this week I was really excited when my friend Melanie, okay, we'll start that over again. Actually, Steve, do you want to get the kit for me to show off? Well, I left it, where is it? I think it's on the dining room table. If you can't do it, that's okay. Oh, looks like he disappeared. So he's going to go get the kit for me to show you. This is so fun. iPhone controlled cat feeder water dispenser. I wonder if they have those. Yeah, that's a good point, Holly. You have your phone, right? Nobody forgets their phone. Our daughter forgot her entire purse at our house when she was going on a wine tasting weekend, and she was terrified because she wouldn't have her driver's license to prove she was 21, and it turned out she had an iPhone case. Thank you, dear. Whoops. What's that? The label? The logo. Oh, okay. Anyway, she had an iPhone case that had, you could put a credit card in, and she had her credit card in her wallet and her phone. She was so happy. So this is what I'm going to talk briefly about. This is the 70-piece iFixit case, or toolkit. Look at this. Look at this. Look at this. I could do dental work with this thing. Check that out. And let me pull this piece out. So in the middle, it's got the tools. Look at all those. Look at all those. Oh, we got pentalobe drivers and Torx and Phillips, and then this beautiful long flexible driver, and then it's got this flexible thing if you want to use that. Isn't that awesome? And then an array of spudgers, and these are, oh, look at these tweezers. These tweezers are just beautiful. Check it. Look at these. I could get splinters out with this. I love this kit. I'm so excited about it. There'll be a reason I will be talking about it. It even comes with a suction cup for the phone. Steve wanted to make sure I showed the logo on the outside, so iFixit. I think it's $65. All right. Nobody hacks in your keyring. That's true, except for locksmiths that can come up and open it, Linda. I remember we forgot we gave keys to our house to our friend Eric to watch our cats when we were on vacation, and we gave him the key to Steve's dad's house instead of our house. Eric called up a locksmith. The locksmith came over and unlocked the door for him, and he never showed any ID to the guy. So yes, you can have your front door locked, hacked pretty easily. Nerds love us some kits. Yep. Spudger. Oh, in case anybody, a lot of people ask me what a spudger is. A spudger is just a plastic thing that lets you pry up those little connectors. You go, whoop, pop it up. I'm not quite sure why I have so many spudgers. I guess they're slightly different. No, those two look the same. I got a lot of spudgers. I got little bitty spudgers, little tiny ones, and for some reason one of them's black. When I first did this work, I used the blue one, and then I watched the woman from iFixit, and she was using the black one, so I did it right the second time. Spudger. All right, enough playing with the toys. Now you hear why I was excited. All right, here we go. Rose is up. Rose! Rose needs voice. Yay! What time is it, your time? Is it like 6 in the morning? I don't think it's Spludger. I think it's Spudger. All right. Rose is here. Yay! She has no voice, Steve. Still no voice. All right. Change that. Just going to change the audio for a second here.